Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everybody. So my name is Jennifer Ransall Smith, and I am extremely excited about chatting with everyone tonight. And my intention is to share strategies that are tangible, that you can take away, and it is to shift the way that you're looking at how you're currently showing up in your personal brand right now. So I'm going to start by sharing a quick story. And it is about a gentleman who worked in the home and building industry for many years and had built a really solid reputation and had gotten to the point where he was ready to leave the Midwest and head down south with his family and just spend a little bit more time on the beach and relaxing and enjoying life. And so he went to his boss and he said, I wanted to let you know that the house that I built, that's going to be the last house because I'm about to leave. And his boss was very taken aback. He didn't anticipate that happening, and he knew how much they had coming up on the pike. And so he said, tell you what, you hang in there and you build one more house with me, and I'll gladly let you go. So this gentleman, who we'll call Kevin was, that wasn't what he anticipated, and so he begrudgingly accepted the offer. And he did everything that he could to hurry up and get the house done. He ramshacked through deadlines. He used inferior materials, everything that he could do to get to that end goal of leaving town. And when it was finally time for his boss to do a final walkthrough for approval and sign off, as they were walking to the house, his boss started smiling. And his boss had the keys to the house, and he handed the keys to Kevin and said, this is my gift to you. And I want to thank you for all the years that you spent building and working with me. And as you can imagine, the only thing that Kevin was thinking is, if only I had known that was my house, I would have done it also differently. And so when I think about personal branding, when we think about your reputation, what happens with most people is we leave it to chance. We are not intentional about our path, our career path, how we're positioned in the marketplace. We're not really sure on, does everyone who encounters me have the same, here are the 3 or 4 things that I stand for, and so you have an encounter with Jennifer and you walk away and this is how you feel. We usually, what happens, even with most Americans, most people in general, is if you catch us on a good day, then you think we're a rock star, and if you catch us on a bad day, then you have a different feeling. And so what we want to do today is start shifting that and recognizing the power of being intentional about how we're showing up. So next slide, how do I, okay. So
I'll do it. Just holler when you're ready. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
So when it comes to your career, nobody's going to step aside so you can step up. If you're ready to increase your visibility, your credibility, your influence and impact, you simply have to make a decision. And I am a firm believer that you want to become the chief marketing officer of the brand called you. You want to learn how to strategically become the brand ambassador of who you are and what you stand for. And it doesn't matter what you do, but especially like everyone on this phone, where you're in the people business, where everything that you do lies on the reputation of who you are, the way that you get more business, the way that you get opportunities based on how people are perceiving you and how you've done before. Okay. Next. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about my background, and I'm going to share some important, the importance of personal branding. I know that everyone here has heard the name or heard the term so much that it just starts to become white noise. Everyone does personal branding now, and personal branding this, personal branding that. You're just like probably yada, yada. Okay, if I hear that one more time. But I'm going to make a case that I believe on why it's so essential. And then I'm going to give you some tangible strategies, and then we're going to give you some things to remember, and we'll share a couple case studies that are out there, people in your industry right now who are really doing it, and maybe shift the way and give you some insight and ideas on how you can implement that in your own. Okay. So I own a company that was officially 9 years old last month. It's called Brand ID Strategic Partners. I work with clients across the country in every field imaginable. I've had clients from NASA, nuclear engineers. I have a doctor from Harvard University. I was the keynote last week 2 weeks ago at Microsoft Women's Conference. And this is the second year. In October, I was invited to do a workshop with the Obama administration, their White House appointees, because they were making the transition, looking for new jobs as the administration was coming to their end of their term. And so really giving people the tools to understand that your career and that opportunities, I'm not going to say that they don't ever fall in your lap, but you have a much bigger lap and you have a much more robust opportunity for that to happen when you are strategic. And so working with clients, I work with organizations, I work with teams, but my entire DNA is wired to recognize and to show people that you have to be in the driver's seat when it comes to steering your career. And there is no reason that someone is completely annihilating the game in your industry and someone else is struggling. And the difference between that usually is the one person made a decision. Okay. So before we get down to the nitty-gritty, because we're going to go hard for 45 minutes, if you want to connect with me, I'm everywhere online. You can find me on Twitter. You can find my website. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can just put in Jennifer Ransall Smith and pull me up, and I'm on LinkedIn as well. So if after this conversation you want to reach out, you want to connect, you want a resource, whatever, you just want to say hi, you did such a great job, that's what I'm anticipating you're going to think, then you can reach out to me.